Hello and welcome to the Anna L. Brothers Show and Podcast. Sweet blessings. Welcome. Um, I'm Anna. I am a retired school teacher. Let me get my mic here together. I'm a retired school teacher. I'm an educational consultant. I'm a health consultant. I'm an author. Um, and I have a podcast. And the purpose of my podcast is to inspire, encourage, and empower people to live a healthier lifestyle. So, this evening, we are going to um, talk a little bit about spirituality. And before I get started, I just want to let you know that you can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make more content as well. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this is my YouTube. I'm on multiple platforms. I'm on Facebook as well. Um, I'm on Instagram. This is my Facebook. And I'm on Instagram. This is my Instagram. And then this is my bit. I do have a bit as well. So the bit is a link to my website where you can reach me. Also, I wanted to let you know that I do accept sponsors and guests on my program. It's free to be on my program. I have different types of sponsorships that you can come on. You can advertise on my podcast as well. You can also send donations if you would be interested in sending donations. You can send donations. This is my Cash app if you want to send some donations to help me out in my endeavor. So I do believe that that is most of my housekeeping that I need to do this evening with you. Before I get started, we have talked about quite a few things since the year has started. And remember that my podcast is on self care. And when you talk about self care, you talk about the whole being, okay? Not just you as a person, but you spiritually, you emotionally, you health wise, physical, mental, just all those things seem to be involved. And when one is out the whack, the other is out the whack. Now, there never is going to ever be a perfect time or a perfect way to get into things. So each month I've done a little research and I've done a theme. So my theme for this month, and this is the last thing, last week or Wednesday of this month, has been spirituality versus religion. And so I started off kind of talking to you about religion and the different types of religions. And I thought I could maybe shed a little light on some of the religions, but as I did my research, I found out that there are at least 4,200 religions. So I kind of brought it down to the top six. And so you will also, in this presentation, will also see those top six religions as well there. I just wanted to let you know you can also book uh, a spot on my show through my website, but you can also contact me. This is my website. You can also contact me there if you see fit to, you want to just text, email me. That is my email there as well. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about spirituality. And my question was, does spirituality help you with your health and wellness? Remember that I'm talking about the whole being of the person. So your spirit or those type of things, is that involved in it? Is religion involved in it? Is spirituality in it? And I asked that question because some people are religious and some people are just spiritual. But I think that I am both. I'm both religious and spiritual. As well. So we're going to take a brief commercial break. And then when I come back, we are going to talk about the benefits of spirituality. Okay. So hold on just 1 minute.
The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
All righty, so we are back, and I am going to get right into it today. What is spirituality? So basically, spirituality is the broad concept of a belief in something beyond the self. It strives to answer questions about the meaning of life, how people are connected to each other, truth about the universe, and other mysteries of human existence. Okay. Spirituality offers a worldwide or world view that suggests that that there is something more to life than just people experiencing on a sensory and physical level. Instead, it suggested that there is something greater that connects all beings to each other and to the universe itself. It may involve religious traditions centering around the belief in a higher power. It can also involve a holistic belief in an individual's connections to others and the world as a whole. Spirituality has been a source of comfort and relief from stress for multitudes of people. While people use many different paths to find God or a higher power, research has shown that those who are more religious or spiritual and use their spirituality to cope with challenges in life may benefit their health and well-being. So I answered that question right off the bat on is spirituality a benefit for your health and wellness? Right off the bat, the research is showing that it does affect your well-being. And so let's take a look at some of the signs of spirituality. Now, spirituality is not a single path or belief system. There are many ways to experience spirituality and the benefits of a spiritual experience. How you define spirituality will vary for some people. It is the belief in a higher power or specific religious practice. For others, it may involve experiencing a sense of connection to a higher state or a sense of interconnectedness with the rest of the humanity and nature. And then here are some signs of spirituality. It's kind of small. I hope you all can see it. Asking deep questions about topics such as suffering or what happens after death. The deepening connection with other people. Experiencing compassion and empathy for others. Experiencing feelings of interconnectedness. Feelings of awe and wonder. Seeking happiness beyond material possessions or other external rewards. Seeking meaning and purpose. Wanting to make the world a better place. Not everyone experiences or expresses spirituality in the same way. Some people may seek spiritual experiences in every aspect in their lives, while others may more likely have these feelings under specific conditions or in certain locations. For example, some people may be more likely to have spiritual experiences in church or other religious temples, while others might have these feelings when they're out enjoying uh, nature. Now, there are types of spirituality, believe it or not. So let's take a look at the types of spirituality. And I've kind of broken it down into two areas. The first area, how people get in touch with their own spirituality. That's the first column. And then the second column is how people express their spirituality through religions, traditions. Okay, so let's look at the first column where it says uh, breath work. That's breathing. Okay, when you breathe, sometimes people take a breath of fresh air when they are breathing, or under stress that you might count to 10 or something like that. That is and then blow it out. That is a method of spirituality. Meditation or quiet time. Most people relate to the meditation or quiet time. They're very familiar with that type of spirituality. New age spirituality. I'm not familiar with that one, but like I said, that's one that I would have to kind of, I guess, research myself on that one again. But, and then prayer. We all are familiar with prayer. Sometimes service to our community, spending time in nature, spiritual retreats. Sometimes you have you go to nature retreats or just things to make you feel good. And yoga is one of the other types of spirituality. And then you also, when you look into the religious ramification of it, you have Buddhism, and all of these religions are what I touched on, not last week, but the week before, on the types of religions that are about. And I gave you the top six. I believe this is seven here. And they have humanism, humanism, can't even get it out. Humanism, they have humanism in there. And I just did not realize that humanism was a type of religion, but I assume that it is. It was not one of my top six that I researched, but I do want you to know that sometimes within these religious groups or bodies, they do have a spiritual um, experience. Okay. It's important to remember that there are many other spiritual traditions that exist throughout the world, including traditional African and indigenous spiritual practices. Such spiritual practices can be particularly important to groups of people who have been subject to the effects of colonization, but they're saying colonism. Okay, it's a form of colonization. Um, I am familiar with that, but I cannot expound on it. I was fortunate enough, or I guess one of my pastors was really into colonization and uh, the effects that it had on many people. So that is something I guess you could look into if you were really wanted to expound on that. So the very first broadcast that I did the month, it was on religion versus spirituality. So I want to kind of look at that again, and so kind of comparing them um, a little bit. Sometimes you might think that there's a lot of overlap between people who are spiritual and people who are religious, but these are some key points to help show the difference between them. It's important that you uh, realize that there is a difference in spirituality and religion, even though there is some overlapping in the philosophies of it. So, in spirituality, it can be practiced individually, whereas religion is often, now I'm not saying that it cannot be practiced individual, but it's often practiced in a community. So you go to a church or synagogue or something in that religious mass or whatever. It's often practiced in the community. In spirituality, you don't have to adhere to specific sets of rules. However, in religion, usually it's based on a specific set of rules and customs. Okay, I don't care what church you go to, whether it's a Christian church or a Jewish church or Islam or Muslim or whatever, they have specific rules and customs that are significant to that specific church. And then spirituality is often focused on a personal journey of discovering what is meaningful in life. Um, Whereas the religious often focus on the belief in deities or God, religious texts, and traditions. So there are a number of different reasons why people may turn to spirituality, including but not limited to, let's look at those uses for spirituality. And the first one I got is to find purpose and meaning, and that is exploring spirituality can help people find answers to philosoph- philosophical questions that they have, such as what is the meaning of life and what purpose does my life serve? Have you ever wondered that? What purpose does your life serve? Okay. Then the next one is to cope with your feelings of stress, depression, and anxiety. And I, I don't care how you look at it or however you want to do it. We all have stress. We're all depressed at one point, and we all have anxieties. And so spiritual experiences can be helpful when coping with the stresses of life. So that helps you as well. Then the next one is it restores hope and optimism. So spirituality can help people develop a more hopeful or positive outlook on life. Seriously, your spirit really is can break you. You know, if you have a thing. So your spirit is very powerful. Um, and the last one is to find a sense of community and support. And that's because spiritual traditions often involve organized religions or groups. Becoming a part of such a group can serve as an important source of social support. So, not only do people join uh, churches and things like that for to become a part of a group, but it's also good for socialization, okay, which is basically also good for you as a human being in far as self-care is involved. So the impact, let's talk a little bit about the impact of spirituality because that's basically what I'm talking about. While specific spiritual views are a matter of faith, research has demonstrated some of the benefits of spirituality and spiritual activities. The results may surprise no one who has found comfort in their religion or spiritual views, but they are definitely noteworthy in that they demonstrate in a specific way that these activities do have benefits for many people. Now, the following are a few more of the many positive findings related to spirituality and health. Now, research has shown that religion and spirituality can help people cope with the effects of everyday stress. One study found that everyday spiritual experiences help older adults better cope with negative feelings and enhance positive feelings. Uh, that I believe that there must be some truth to this because I go to church every Sunday because it helps me throughout my week. I learn a lesson and it helps me deal with the things and problems. That lesson carries me over. And I believe that that is a form of spirituality that helps me uh, go through the week. Now, also, research shows that older women are more grateful to God than older men, and they receive greater stress buffering health effects due to this gratitude. According to research, those with an intrusive religious orientation, regardless of gender, exhibits less psychological reactivity towards stress than those with extrinsic religious orientation. Those who were intrinsically orientated dedicated their lives to God or a higher power, while the extrinsically orientated ones use religion for external ends like making friends or increasing community social standards. This belongs with other research demonstrates that there may be tangible and lasting benefits to maintaining involvement with the spiritual community. This involvement, along with the gratitude that can accomplish spirituality, can be a buffer against stress and is linked to greater levels of physical health. Dedication to God or higher power translate into less stress, reactivity, greater feeling of well-being, and ultimately even a decreased fear of death. People who feel comfortable and comfort using spirituality as a coping mechanism for stress can rest assured that there's even more evidence that this is a good idea for them. Prayer works for young and old alike. Prayer and spirituality have been linked to, listen to this, let me show you this, better health, greater psychological well being, less depression, less hypertension, less stress, even during difficult times, more positive feelings, superior ability to handle stress. So, whether we are discovering a forgotten spiritual past, reinforcing your commitments to an already well established one, or wanting to learn more about spirituality for beginners, there are countless ways to start exploring your spirituality side and help improve your well being. So, we're going to look at a few of those now. And how do we go about practicing? So let me say this though. Spirituality is a very personal experience, and everyone's spiritual path may be unique. Research shows, however, that some spiritual stress relief strategies have been helpful to many regardless of faith. Some things you can do to start exploring spirituality includes pay attention to how you are feeling. Part of embracing spirituality means also embracing what it means to be human, both the good and the bad. You want to focus on others, opening your heart, feeling empathy, and helping others are important aspects of spirituality. Meditate. Try spending 10 to 15 minutes each morning engaged in some form of meditation. Now, I used to do this. There was a lady that came on early in the morning, every morning, and I would listen to her. She, I think she's still on, but she comes at a time that's not convenient to me. But I use other ways of meditation. You know, I am a member of Weight Watchers, and they have meditation tapes that you can listen to and things. So to me, meditation is time for quiet time and kind of reflecting on some things. The next one is practice gratitude. So you want to start a gratitude journal and record what you are grateful for each day. This can be a great reminder of what is important to you and what brings you the greatest happiness. Now, I do have a journal. Now, this is my journal. I've had this journal, I don't know how long. In fact, I started this journal. Wait a minute. Ooh, it's tearing up. In 2018, y'all. 2018, I started this gratitude journal. And let me tell you, I started it not on my own. I was part of a challenge, a going live challenge. And this was one of the activities that that they gave us to do to start a gratitude journal. It was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I'm telling you, over the past, I would say 5 or 6 years, I have learned so much about self and what things that you need to do to uh, to just better yourself and make yourself feel better. So, do a gratitude journal. If you can't do a journal, I this year I started the jar, and In each the jar, you just do it weekly. If you can't do it daily, do it weekly. You think about or reflect about your week and what was good about your week. What were you grateful for about your week? And write it down and put it in that jar. Okay. And so after a year's time, you can go back and look at that, open those things up. You're going to be so shocked. That's sometimes I read my journal. I am just so shocked at the things that have materialized or that I'm still, like I'm still doing. Like I said, 2018, it is now 2023, and I am still journal writing. It's very important to me to practice gratitude. I do an affirmation every day, every morning. I post an affirmation, something positive, something that you can learn for because you never know when people might need it. Sometimes I really post it because I need it, but I do. I get so many different compliments and people telling me about my positivity. I believe in positivity because if you think positive, then you'll be positive, and positive things will come towards you. So let's talk about try mindfulness. By becoming more mindful, you can become more aware and appreciative of the present. Mindfulness encourages you to be less judgmental, both of yourself and others, and focus more on the present moments rather than dwelling on the past or the future. Um, Even though I'm talking about spirituality, I don't want you to think that it's everything is just a-okay for spirituality because there is a pitfall with spirituality. There's a potential pitfalls, and it's called spiritual bypassing. It's when you use spirituality as a way to avoid or sidestep problems, emotions, or conflict. So you have to be very mindful of that. And for example, let me give you an example of that. Rather than apologizing for some type of emotional wound you have caused someone else, you might bypass the problem by simply excusing it and saying that everything happens for a reason, or suggesting that the other person just needs to focus on the positive. Spirituality can enrich your life and lead to a number of benefits. But it is important to be cautious to not let spiritual ideas lead to pitfalls such as dogmatism or reason to ignore the needs of others. So, how do you get started? So, I'm going to give you a few suggestions. In fact, I'm going to give you 6 suggestions or 6 steps to invite spirituality into your everyday life. They're just really simple things. The first one is meditation, and I told you that I do try to meditate every day. Every day, that's a time that I just sit down and I do breathing exercises with that. I breathe in, blow out. It's just to relax you. Those breathing exercises to relax, and then I meditate. So my suggestion is to try to begin each day with meditation, even if it's only for a minute. You got to start somewhere. This will allow you to start your day from a place of peace, feeling more centered and grounded. Meditation has brought so many positive changes to my life, including feeling less stressed, having more patience, better sleep, a deeper connection to my inner guidance system, and increased compassion for myself and others. Um, if you just start with a minute and increase it, you'll be doing quite a bit for a while. The next thing I'm going to talk about is spiritual reading. Reading spiritual literature has become a treasure complement to my daily meditation. And if any of you ever watch any of my lives, I do sell jewelry. I'm a paparazzi consultant. And spiritual readings is a part of my presentation. I try to start all of my um, jury presentations with a spiritual reading. It might be just one sentence or whatever. But there are some books I could suggest, like Holy Shift by Robert Holden and A Year of Miracle by Mary Ann Williamson. These books are written with intent that the reader will enjoy one page a day so as not to feel overwhelmed by the commitment. It is amazing how inspired you can feel from just one page of really profound writing. And when I do my spiritual readings, it's just one sentence. I do one sentence of that on my live. The whole it's a whole page full of reading, but I only read that one sentence. And then you want to practice gratitude, bringing more gratitude into your life. As soon as you open your eyes, maybe it is simply being alive. Maybe it's the sun shining through the window or a loved one snuggling with you in bed. Just when you open your eyes, write down what you are grateful for. Start a journal. It is very, 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 very important. Keep a gratitude journal. We have a family journal that we keep on the table. And so we write things in. It's a great way to model for your kids to be appreciative of the big and little things in life. So you can start this with children, showing them how to be grateful and what they are grateful for every day. You can have them uh, they, start on the journal. So when you have breakfast, y'all can write in the journal. It can be a family thing. Um, now, this, I don't do this, but this was a suggestion that was given to me to set an alarm on my phone to remind me to stop what I'm doing and take a deep breath and spend a minute of practicing gratitude. Okay, I usually do mine in the morning. I'm a morning. I used to be a night person, but I'm a morning person now. So I do most of mine in the morning. I wake up. I thank God for waking me up, and I think about what I'm grateful for, and then I write down. It's usually something that happened the day before, but I do it in the morning. Now, number 4 is spend time in nature, which I love to do. Uh, I live near a forest preserve. It's called Sand Ridge Nature Center, and they have like well, they have a house there, and they have programs and all of those type of things going on there. But they have hiking trails. They have a 5 mile and a 10 mile, and you can walk around. You can just walk through there and listen to the nature and everything as you're going through that. So I love nature. I've always loved nature. I love listening to the birds. And I'm still kind of like that. I get up early in the morning, and I might have a porch, and it's enclosed, and I get up this kind of high rise, and the birds is on the thing, and I look at them. Some of them I know because from early on in my early part of my when I was young, I used to go bird watching. But now I don't. But I always had a love for nature. Uh, as far as getting out, I've even been camping. It's something about the peace and the gratitude. Even water makes me. It's so soothing to me. It's relaxing uh, to me. So you want to spend time in nature, and you know, sometimes you can be out there and you just feel that breeze, you know, on you, and it just feels so good. And then sometimes I could just walk out a building and walk out and say, "Oh my God, it feels so good out here," you know. So uh, enjoy nature. Now, it's some parts of nature I don't like. I don't cut grass because I have allergies. But as far as going out and you know just observing and being around different things, I really enjoy that as well. So number 5 is be open to the signs from the universe. Uh, when things just work out, I believe it is the universe showing us that it has our back and is conspiring for greater things to happen. Living with this outlook makes for really positive experiences. And then the last one is mindful breathing. And I told you about that breathing. There are many ways you can uh, do the breathing. So, with consistent meditation, you become less reactive and more responsive. Um, I used to be really impatient, but now at the first sign of it triggers, I just hit the pause button and breathe, you know? Even with my daughter, if she gets on my nerves, because, you know, your children can be stressful, and she's grown, but they still can be stressful. I take that deep breath and then blow it out. So, deep breath and blow it out. So, sometimes if you can take a deep breath, uh, you know, suck it in for maybe, um, sometimes I try to do it for 8 and then blow it out for 8 real slow. So you want that frame, your body frame to, and then, and you do that a couple of times, um, maybe 3, you know, do it as many times as you feel necessary that you need uh, uh, to do that because it really, really helps. You can just your mindset just really does wonders for you with the breathing. It takes away a lot of that stress that you have or that anxiety that that person or someone has uh, you know placed on you. So I just wanted to thank you for listening to my podcast on spirituality. I am basically not trying to tell anyone which way to go with religion. I told you that before. But I think that we all need to be aware of the different types of religions as well as, and I did not even hit the top surface of all the religions. So, but I just wanted to know if you're out here and you're looking for a religion, that you need to research it and you need to understand the difference between spirituality and and religion. And so I always close with uh, my 3 L's. And my 3 L's are very important to me. because the first one is to live, and we all want to live a fulfilling life. And it's important that you do that for yourself. You need to do things to make you happy as a person. And then the next one is to laugh. Make sure you laugh at yourself. Laugh. Laughter is so good for the soul. It just brings you out. You can be so sad, and then someone will come along and make you laugh, or you see something that makes you laugh, and you will feel 100% better. It's amazing. Okay. And then the other thing is to love. Love. Try to love everybody. I know it's difficult to love everybody, but try to. Okay. And you can, my grandmother always told me that, you can love someone with a long wooden spoon. So there's no excuse for you not to love someone, as well. But I'm going to tell you right now, the most important person that you need to love is you. Make sure you love yourself. Self-care is very important. And so that is why I started my podcast, because I wanted to inspire, I wanted to encourage, and I wanted people to live a healthier lifestyle. Not just adults, but everyone, children as well. And so in my podcast, you will find suggestions that you can use with your children. And so when I tell you that I'm a retired school teacher, I'm a retired early childhood school teacher. So you know that the young age is where we all need to begin with our children, so that they have a better concept of life. And so this week concludes my series, or my uh, topics on spirituality and religion. Next month, which starts tomorrow, but next month I will be talking about activity, physical activity. And hopefully I have planned to have a personal trainer here to kind of go over things with you on as far as exercising and health and fitness, because I'm not an expert at it. And there are people out here, and that's what I do. I try to find ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So if you are one of those ordinary people who is doing something extraordinary, and you want me to showcase it, by all means, become a guest on my program. We are seen or heard in over 350 million households. And so, therefore, your voice will be heard. Um, so, with that being said, I am going to bid you adieu, and I will see you next Wednesday. Uh, and we will be talking about activity or physical activity for the person, that you can do uh, to better yourself. Okay. So have a great one, and I will see everyone next Wednesday. So long.